Hey guys, you're here with Goran from Pick Dawgz, and you are here for your free pick in Bundesliga on Saturday, January 21st. The Bundesliga is finally here, and it kicked off with that Leipzig versus Bayern matchup on Friday, which was a bit slow, I gotta admit. We didn't see a lot of goals, didn't see a lot of chances, and it was somewhat expected, maybe not to that point, but it was expected the teams are gonna be a bit sloppy and slow since they haven't played a competitive game in a while. But I'm hoping the Saturday will be a bit smoother and a bit more entertaining to kind of get us some nice winners, and hopefully we see some goals in most of these games. There are a lot more free picks up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel, guys, so check it out. Subscribe, keep those notifications on, and of course feel free to leave a comment and I will be answering any of your questions that you might have. We guys have 5 9:30 games on Saturday, and we have a 12:30 game between Köln and Werder, with which we are gonna close the day in Bundesliga. But we are gonna kick it off here with this Union Berlin versus Hoffenheim matchup. 9:30 game, like I said. Two teams that did a very good job in the off season in those friendly games, especially Union Berlin, who won all 5 of their friendly games. They have scored a ton of goals during that stretch, and they actually did a solid job on the defensive end as well. But we can't really judge a team by those friendly games. As far as Hoffenheim goes, they have been scoring a lot of goals in those friendly games, but they have also been conceding a lot of goals. And in the 5 games they played, they conceded 11 goals in 5 games, like I said. But the good news for them is that their offense has been producing. They have been creating chances, and they will definitely need all of that to get back on track in Bundesliga, because they dropped out of the top 5. They're now in 11th place with 18 points, and the Conference League and the Europa League are getting further and further away from them. As far as Union Berlin goes, they are still undefeated at home this season with 5 wins and 2 draws. Their form was a bit sloppy just before the World Cup, and they will be looking to get back on the winning track here. But it's not going to be easy because, like I said, both teams did a solid job in that attacking end in the offseason, and I think the offense will be key here for both of these teams. So I think we see chances, I think we see goals, and for that reason I decided to go with over 2.5 at -108, which is quite surprising to me to get priced this good for two teams that have been scoring a lot of goals in their friendly matchups before the season started again. So I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to take over 2.5. I'm not sure that either of these two teams can keep a clean sheet, and that definitely goes for Hoffenheim as well. They have been conceding a lot, and they will concede here as well. So over 2.5 at -108, I think it's a perfect pick for this game. Second game in Bundesliga is between Eintracht and Schalke, and as good as Eintracht was so far this season, they are in that 4th place. They are in the Champions League spot. As good as they were, Schalke was equally bad in the first half of the season. They need to, I don't know, they are at the bottom with only 9 points. They have scored only 13 goals, and if they want to have any chance of staying in Bundesliga for at least another season, they have to start getting points somewhere, and they have to start as soon as possible. This is not going to be an easy game for them, because Eintracht has been one of the best offensive teams in the league with 32 scored goals so far. That's an average of just over 2 scored goals per game. The good news for Schalke is that Eintracht has also been conceding a lot of goals. They have conceded 24 goals, and Schalke, like I said, they have to do something. They have to be more effective. They have to start scoring more goals. And I think those couple of signings they did during the break now in January, they will have to step up as soon as possible. And hopefully, I'm going to put my faith in Schalke here, guys. And hopefully, they get to the scoreboard. Keeping a clean sheet is going to be almost an impossible task against Eintracht. But I think they can get at least 1 goal here. So I'm going to take both teams to score in over 2.5. plus 106. Should be a highly entertaining matchup with a lot of chances, and hopefully one of those chances that Schalke creates will get them a goal. As far as Eintracht goes, I don't think they will have a lot of problems getting on the scoreboard here, because they are the home team after all. Next game, guys, is between Stuttgart and Mainz. We have two teams that did a solid job this season, especially Mainz, who was a bit more consistent than Stuttgart was. But just before the World Cup, Stuttgart was waking up, and I think the fact that the season ended at that point, was paused at that point, was kind of a problem for Stuttgart, because, like I said, they did a solid job just before the World Cup. They were getting into shape, they were getting points, scoring goals, defending a bit better, but they don't have a choice but to pick it up here as well. In the friendly games, they have 2 wins and 2 losses in those 4 games. The games that they won, they did a good job. They scored 7 goals in those 2 games combined, conceded only 2, but the games they lost, they didn't score a single goal, and they still have a lot of problems with consistency in that attacking end, on both ends for that matter. And now they're facing Mainz, the team that can be very uncomfortable for everyone, and even the big teams in Bundesliga. They have been one of the best best teams on the road so far this season, which definitely is not gonna help Stuttgart, who have been struggling for a lot of time so far this season. I'm kind of leaning towards the over. I think this could easily go the under as well, under 2.5. I mean, but I decided to side with the over 2.5 in this one at minus 127, because it doesn't take a lot for team to concede a penalty or a free kick, and maybe a play from another set piece like a corner kick or something like that. And as soon as that happens, the other team tends to open up and try to get back in the game by scoring a goal. And for that reason, that is why I decided to go with over 2.5 at minus 127 in this one. The next game, guys, we have is between Bochum and Hertha. Bochum in a desperate need of a win as well. They are very close to the relegation zone right now, and if they want to stay in the league, they have to get points, and they have to get them as soon as possible. Hertha, on the other side, has been far more consistent this season. Even though they are in 15th place with only 14 points, they have been better defensively, they have been better offensively as well, and they actually did a really good job in those friendly games they played during November and January, and they are now actually on a 5-game streak without a loss, which certainly will be a huge boost for them in this game. Like I said, Bochum is in a desperate need of points here to get out of the relegation zone, but they haven't won any of their last 7 games, and it's clear that they don't have the quality to compete in Bundesliga this season, and this is going to be a huge problem for them for the rest of the season. I'm leaning towards Hertha here, but we are getting a decent price on Hertha on the double chance at minus 165. And that is why what I decided to go with. If you want plus money, I'm pretty sure we can find another pick to get us a nice double with this double chance on Hertha. And maybe if you take Eintracht and Schalke over 2.5 goals and double chance with Hertha in this one, that will get you a nice plus money. But as a single, minus 165 is not that bad on a pick that will get you covered 2 out of possible 3 outcomes. Which is Hertha double chance. So that's what I'm going to go with in this one. Wolfsburg is hosting Freiburg, guys, and those are 2 teams that have been in pretty good form before the World Cup. 2 teams that have been scoring a lot of goals, but Freiburg is actually one of the top teams in Bundesliga this season. They are now in 2nd place. They are a bit closer now to Bayern, who didn't get a win in their Bundesliga game, and this is actually a perfect opportunity for Freiburg to get a win and to get even closer. However, that's not going to be an easy task to accomplish, because Wolfsburg has been absolutely outstanding at home this season. They were defeated only once. They had a solid defense. They had a very good offense as well, and this is not going to be an easy game for either side, to be honest. As far as their friendly games goes, Freiburg has won 2 out of their 3 friendly matchups, while Wolfsburg has won only 1 of their last 3 games. And they have conceded 5 goals in those 3 games, which is a sign that their defense is not yet ready. But like I said earlier in this video, we can't really judge the teams according to their friendly games. We can just take a look at those games and see if we can draw any conclusions out of it. But maybe the offense will step up, and I hope they do, because that will make this game a lot more interesting. If I had to pick a side, I would lean slightly towards Freiburg, because in the first half of the season they have been far more consistent and far better team than Wolfsburg has been. But I don't see either team keeping a clean sheet here. And for that reason, I decided to go with both teams to score. Minus 141, it is a bit pricey. If you want, you can add over 2.5 goals as well. I think that if both teams to score hits, the over 2.5 is going to hit as well. But personally, I'm going to stick to just both teams to score and take the volatility out of this pick as much as I can. And I'm going to take that minus 141 price we are getting. And guys, the last game of the day we have in Bundesliga, like I said, is between Köln and Werder Bremen. The game that should be fairly interesting, but if I had to pick a side once again, I would go with Köln, because Köln is a very, very sturdy team at home to beat. The current form is not that great, but in Bundesliga they have done a solid job at home, while Werder on the road has been great, has been, well, not great, has been decent at least defensively, but they haven't been scoring a lot of goals. They have 11 goals in 7 games, and like I said, Köln at home can be a very hard team to beat because of those defensive capabilities they have. Their friendly games haven't been that great. Werder has scored 2 goals in their home friendly game, while conceding in pretty much every single one of those games. And if we can take a look at those friendly games, we can kind of see that neither team is quite ready to get back with Bundesliga as of yet. But who knows? This is the first game, and both teams would like to start the second half of the season on a positive note, which makes me think this is going to be a fairly open matchup, and that's why I decided to go with both teams to score an over 2.5, minus 122. Is it worth the risk? I would love for this pick to be closer to the even money, but I honestly think that it would go either side, because, like I said, neither of these two teams is quite ready yet for Bundesliga. And I expect both defenses to be a bit shaky and sloppy, and for that reason, I think we're gonna see quite a bit of chances and hopefully goals as well. So both teams to score at over 2.5, minus 122. That's the pick I'm gonna go with in this game. That's it, guys. 6 Bundesliga matchups on Saturday. We got a few more on Sunday as well. So stay tuned for more free picks. Subscribe to the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, hit that like button, and good luck with your bets, guys, and we'll see you soon with more free picks.